Question number 166. Select the mismatch with respect to structure and their location. And the very first match given is blind spot, and the match is place where optic nerve leaves the eye. And as it is a correct match, this cannot be a correct answer to our question. The next match given is hypothalamus, and the match is midbrain. And as it is an incorrect match, this is a correct answer to our question, because hypothalamus is the part of forebrain and not midbrain. The next match given is cerebellum, and the match given is hindbrain, and as it is a correct match, this cannot be a correct answer to our question. And the last match given is eustachian tube, and the match is middle ear, and as it is also a correct match, this cannot be a correct answer to our question. Eustachian tube equalizes the pressure on either side of tympanic membrane. So the correct answer to this question is option number 2. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 167. Meninx, which is in contact with the brain tissue and present in the form of highly vascular thin layer is, and the options given are dura mater, arachnoid, pia mater, coracoid. So meninx, which is in contact with brain tissue and present in the form of highly vascular thin layer, is option number 3, pia mater. So the correct answer is option number 3, pia mater. Whereas dura mater is an incorrect option, because dura mater is the outer layer of the cranial meninges. It is a thick and tough layer made up of tough fibrous tissue. Option number 2, arachnoid, is an incorrect option, because arachnoid is very thin middle layer made up of delicate connective tissue. And the last option is coracoid, and this is an incorrect option because it is a structure which is present on scapula. So the correct answer to this question is option number 3. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 168. Which lobe of cerebrum helps in decoding and interpretation of sound? And the options given are frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, and temporal lobe. And the lobe of cerebrum that helps in decoding and interpretation of sound is the temporal lobe. So the correct answer to this question is option number 4. Now let's discuss rest of the options. The very first option is frontal lobe, and this is an incorrect option because the voluntary motor activities are under the control of frontal lobe. The next option is parietal lobe, and this is an incorrect option because parietal lobe is where feelings about touch, hot and cold, and pain are registered. And the next option is occipital lobe, and this is also an incorrect option because occipital lobe responds to the sensation of light, and this is also an incorrect option. So the correct answer to this question is option number 4. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 169. In humans, multipolar neurons are present in the, and the options given are cerebral cortex. Second option is exclusively in olfactory epithelium. Third option, only in embryonic stage. Fourth option, dorsal root ganglion of spinal nerve. And the multipolar neurons are present in option number 1, cerebral cortex is the correct answer. Let's discuss the rest of the options. The second option is exclusively in olfactory epithelium, and this is an incorrect option because bipolar neurons are present in olfactory epithelium. The next option is only in embryonic stage. This is also an incorrect option because unipolar neurons are found usually in the early embryonic stage. And the last option is dorsal root ganglion of spinal nerve, and this is also an incorrect option because pseudo-unipolar neurons are found in dorsal root ganglion of spinal nerve. So the correct answer to this question is option number 1. Let's proceed to the next question. Question number 170. The sequential order of cells in the retina from outside to inside is, and the options given are photoreceptor cells followed by bipolar cells and then ganglion cells. Next option is ganglion cells to bipolar cells to photoreceptor cells. Third option is photoreceptor cells to ganglion cells to bipolar cells, and the last option is bipolar cells to ganglion cells to photoreceptor cells. And the correct sequential order of cells from outside to inside in retina is option number 1, photoreceptor cells to bipolar cells to ganglion cells. Because short sensory bipolar cells forms an intermediate layer between photoreceptor cells and retinal ganglion cells. Whereas option number 2, ganglion cells, bipolar cells and photoreceptor cells is an incorrect option because it is the sequence of cells from inside to outside. The next option is photoreceptor cells to ganglion cells and bipolar cells. This is an incorrect option. And the last option, bipolar cells to ganglion cells to photoreceptor cells, is also an incorrect option. And the correct answer to this question is option number 1. Let's proceed to the next question.